Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me one quick favor, see that little black subscribe button on the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, hit that little black subscribe button. Really does help this channel grow, my audience grow, and I appreciate it more than you know. Also, quick thank you to our presenting sponsor, Betfred Sportsbook and the Betfred Sportsbook app. Bet $50 on any game. Get up to $1,111 in free bets courtesy of the Betfred Sportsbook. Thank you again. Now, here's the video that you came here for. Let's not waste any more time and let's get right into it with my official favorite over-under win total bet in the SEC West. You're going to laugh. You're not going to believe me. You're going to think I'm crazy. But remember, I'm not talking national championship odds. I'm not even talking SEC West odds. This is an over-under win total show and over-under win total bets for all 7 teams in the SEC West. And my best bet in the SEC West is this. Texas A&M. No, you don't have to adjust your speakers. Texas A&M, I am taking them over 7.5 wins as my best bet in the Betfred Sportsbook this coming fall. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. I know what a lot of you are going to say. You're going to say, Torres, you're crazy. Texas A&M is always overrated. Many of you are going to point to Jimbo Fisher at SEC Media Days, where he was asked about his new offensive coordinator, Bobby Petrino. Wouldn't really answer what role Bobby Petrino has. Will Bobby Petrino be calling plays? How much say does he have in that offense? So those are the 2 knocks on A&M coming in, and I think they're perfectly fair. But let me start by saying this. First of all, to the comment that they're always overrated, okay? I get that when you're paid $9 million a year, as Jimbo Fisher is, the expectation is not 8, 9, or even 10 wins. It is to compete for division championships, SEC championships, and play in the playoff competing for national championships. But the over-under win total here is 7.5. And if you take out last season, this is year 6 for Jimbo Fisher. He's got at least 8 wins in his first 4 years at Texas A&M. So just a statistical, simple math equation tells you that historically Jimbo Fisher will go over this win total. As far as the Bobby Petrino stuff, I should mention this. I know everybody's freaking out. I know it makes for great copy here in July, but the bottom line is this. Bobby Petrino is an established veteran. He's 60 years old probably. He could retire if he wants to. He would not be at Texas A&M if he did not have confidence in the role that he was going to have with this team and with this program. So the 2 big things right off the bat, I'm just going to knock them down. I'm not as worried as you are. Now let's get to A&M last year, because let's be honest. While I don't think that they necessarily always disappoint, I do think last year was frustrating and disappointing. I'm not going to lie. Came into the season as a preseason top 10 team, finished the season not only outside the top 25, but at 5-7 overall, did not make a bowl game, and they were the most disappointing team in college football last year. But at the same time, even as we all can sit here and agree that they were the most disappointing team in college football last year, here's the crazy part. You know that of those 7 losses for Texas A&M, 5 of those 7 losses came by a touchdown or less. In other words, they're a touchdown better. If Bobby Petrino just does what he's supposed to do and they're a touchdown better, that is a team that has significantly improved from last year. Included in those losses, by the way, 5 games by 7 points or less they lost, okay? Keep in mind this. Alabama came down to the final play. South Carolina, this is maybe my favorite quirky stat of the 2022 season. Texas A&M literally outscored South Carolina after the opening play of the game. South Carolina returns the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Texas A&M outscores them from there. It was that kind of season. But also remember, as disappointing as that 5-7 was, on top of the fact that they lost 5 games by 7 points or less, they also beat LSU, that team that everybody loves coming into this year, LSU. Texas A&M smoked them late in the season going into the offseason. And so I look at that Texas A&M team, and I'm not saying that they're going to be 12-0, 13-0, whatever, 11-1, but finish strong. Remember last year they dealt with a ton of injuries. And I know that injuries are part of college football. I get that. But remember, by the end of the year, they were down to their 3rd string quarterback, a true freshman, Connor Webb. Down to Nia Smith, a dynamic all-SEC caliber receiver. The offensive line was beat up all year. They're shuffling bodies, different injuries at different spots. And so you look at that team and you look at what they're returning now. I actually think they probably got a little bit more depth because of those injuries. A lot of those star freshmen from that 2022 class were thrown into the fire. Now they got reps. Now they're ready to go. Looking at this offense, it should be better. Part of it is Petrino. Part of it is just simple maturation and hopefully people staying healthy. I do expect Connor Wegman to be better in year 2 in that offense. He has maybe the best returning receiving core in the SEC. LSU may have something to say about that. Tennessee may have something to say about that, whatever. But you look at that returning receiving core. Evan Stewart's a first round. Anaya Smith, as I said, all SEC caliber dude. Moose Muhammad, awesome. The tight ends are always good. The running backs can always catch out of the backfield. The O-line has to improve, but should improve. They got like 75 starts between them. And again, it's about continuity and health up front. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it should happen with an offseason of what happens in the offseason. Defensively, I'll say this too for A&M. Considering that the offense did not help them at all, defensively, they were probably better than you remember a season ago. They actually finished in the top 25 nationally in points per game allowed. I think they gave about 21 points per game. So we're talking scoring defense, a top 25 scoring defense, despite the fact that that defense was on the field pretty much nonstop. And again, what it goes back to with this defense is what I told you. Young guys got reps because of all the injuries last year. Up front, you got McKinley Johnson, 7.5 TFLs back this season. Fadil Diggs, 5.5 tackles for loss back this season. But remember all those young guys from that 2022 class that got reps because they had to last year. Walter Nolan's back. Shamar Turner's back, or Shamar Turner was from a different class. Shamar Stewart was from 2022. All these guys. Gabriel Brownlow-Dinley was a 5-star. I think I said Dindy. Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy was a 5-star who didn't even play last year because of injury. LT Overton. So you go on and on down the list. They have depth and skill up front, and it's depth now with some experience after last year. Linebackers should be good, and the secondary should be improved. They lost some guys. They added a couple guys from the portal. Tony Grimes from UNC, Sam McCall from Florida State. I think they'll be better. Finally, when it comes to A&M, I'll just say it. The schedule in the final year of the SEC West, all things considered, is not brutal, okay? 5 of their first 6 games are in the state of Texas. That's a great way to start the season. One of them, granted, is on a neutral field against Arkansas. Also, one of them is against Alabama at home. But remember what happened last time that Texas A&M played Alabama in College Station. So I just bring it all up to say, young team that got better, improved by the end of the year, and a ton of young guys that got reps now with returnees. I do like Texas A&M to hit this over. Now, again, nobody's asking them to go 11-1. Nobody's asking them to even go 10-2. But do I think this is an 8-4, maybe 9-3 ball club? I do. Texas A&M is my best over-under win total bet in the Betfred Sportsbook and in the SEC West.